Welcome. We're about to start today's Art Life Live. Stay tuned. All right, welcome. We're about to start this very soon, so stay tuned. All right, we're gonna start soon. I see some people joining us. Amanda Bradford, I see you, thanks for the comment. We're gonna start very soon, guys.
Stop that going up. Or again.
All right, welcome everybody. My name is David Garibaldi. Welcome to Art Life Live. Right now we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and up here, Instagram and TikTok as well. It's Friday, it's Juneteenth, it's a big day. If you watch my story on my Instagram, you saw that, I woke up, we launched that print, dealt with some server issues, got those fixed, made breakfast, got to the studio, did some prep. My son dropped him off at gymnastics. We're gonna get this in, and then I'm gonna go on with my day and enjoy the time with my family, which I hope you do too. As you're joining us, let me know where you're tuning in from. Where are you? I wanna shout your city out. I already see some comments showing up. Let's see, I see Andrew in Roseville on Facebook. Brian Monzo said, I forgot today was Friday. It's Friday, it's Juneteenth. Let's see. Yeah, let me know. Okay, so Australia, Hawaii, Brazil, welcome. I see Rose in West Sacramento, Brian in Salem, Oregon, LA. Where's our Art Life family? Where was that? Rockland, California. Yes. All right. I see Lisa on YouTube. Welcome. Leanna in El Dorado Hills. Welcome as well. Iran, Washington, Germany, Cleveland. Guys, we're not making these up. This is incredible. You guys tune in from all over the world. Where was that? Turkey, UK. I like this 3 o'clock time. You guys are showing up. You always show up, and I appreciate it. But I've got a special show for you. So real quick, before I do some last shout outs, before we get started, today we released the We Will Grow print. Can you actually take the print out for me? I'm gonna show you real quick. We made it available in 3 sizes, 11 by 14, 16 by 20, and this one will work. So this one, if you can see it, the 16 by 20, We Will Grow print, and it's only available for 24 hours, and the proceeds will benefit an organization called A New BAM. They are a Black Arts and Education program based in St. Paul, Minnesota. St. Paul and Minneapolis are right next to each other. I got to visit them last year. I never really get to do this, but we did some one-on-one painting with their students, and I have to say it was one of the most incredible, enriching experiences I've had. And I've been able to do some cool stuff, but it was a true blessing to work with A New BAM. We're gonna benefit them with the sales and proceeds of this print as well. So those of you who got them, thank you. There's a link in my bio on all my platforms. Just look for the limited edition print. It'll take you right there. All right, a couple last shout outs before we get started. We've got, let's see, I'm seeing, I'm seeing Heather at K9 Studios. Welcome, they're in Sacramento. K9 Studios is my high school animation studio, so shout out to you guys. So Ross, big shout out to you. You purchased 3 of the prints this morning. Thank you so much. One thing you'll notice, if you spend $80 or more, it'll actually unlock free shipping as well. So keep that in mind. Who's ready to paint though? I'm ready to paint. I'm ready to create. Today's theme, inspired by Juneteenth. We'll explain, we'll educate about what Juneteenth is, what it means, and why it inspired this painting about progress. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Periscope, I'm going to play a quick video for you that I posted this morning, and just explains the inspiration behind We Will Grow. Instagram, TikTok. Let's go. My name is David Garibaldi, and I paint live. As I paint, let's talk about Art Life Live starts now. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Art Life Live. Sometimes I wonder if I put out enough paint or brushes. So we'll find that out as I'm painting, but let's get this started. So as always, as you're joining us, be sure to get your questions in. I'm gonna do my best to answer them. I've got another chat over here. I'm gonna try to read that as well. So we got it all. We got it everywhere. What's that? There's a chat. It's a chat, yeah. All right, let's paint. So this painting, actually most of my paintings are inspired by what's happening in the world around us, and it's without a doubt that there's something incredible happening right now that has been in the works through progress of many, many, many people, many generations, and we want to continue to recognize that. It's not just something that's a trend right now. It's really, we're literally watching the world change before our eyes. It's historic. Today is Juneteenth though. Those of you not familiar with the history of Juneteenth, when slavery ended, it was, when it was signed by Abraham Lincoln, it actually didn't technically end right away. It wasn't until June 19th, and I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, 1865, I did some homework earlier, that's when slavery, it truly ended. And it's really not about going backwards or just celebrating the past. It's really about progress and how much we've done to move forward. And so another reason why we want to support a new BAM, which is a organization, a Black Arts and Education organization based in St. Paul, Minnesota. The proceeds to the print that we just came out with today will benefit their organization. We've worked with them directly, we support them, and I appreciate everyone for supporting that organization. So right now, I'm just starting, I like to start very, very, very loose on my paintings. They always come to life, but you gotta be patient with the process. I love that the music's a little louder in the studio today. It feels good. I had a great conversation with a friend of mine earlier. I don't know if he's watching on Instagram, but Steve Brown, we got to connect earlier. It's a friend of mine. We have a lot of mutual friends, but he just brought home his baby boy. And I think he's been in the NICU or in the hospital for months now after he was born. So we're all so happy for you, Steve. Congratulations. It's great to talk to you earlier. All right, let's get to your questions. If you have any questions, start asking me below, and I would love to do my best to answer them. You can kind of see what's coming to life.
Where do you live? TikTok wants to know.
What's that?
TikTok wants to know where you live.
Where do I live? I live in Sacramento, California. Sacramento's home. Are we still, is it still going? For some reason, the music stopped. Okay, cool. All right, just checking. I wear many hats around here.
George from Instagram says he wants to draw Lionel Messi.
So George from Instagram asked what I want to draw Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi, who's one of the greatest football/soccer players in the world. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've actually painted him before. We did a thing with Univision to celebrate the World Cup, and I'm pretty sure, 90% sure I did a portrait of him already. So you'll have to do some research and look that up. But
The last Boy Scout on Instagram wants to know, do you have the full picture in your head or are you building it as you go?
so they just asked, do I have the full picture in my head or do I build it as I go? It's a little of both. I have a structure of what I started with, but literally the stuff that I'm doing now is a true, you could call it a freestyle, just I don't really know what's gonna come of this part, but I always start with an idea, and you have to think about it like this. Most musicians can pick up an instrument, strum it, play the keys from just years of experience. I feel the same way about painting and drawing, is I can loosely bring together ideas. What's happening though in front of you, what I'm sharing with you, is turning a loose idea into a final finished product. And I think that's something I realize is, what this experience is about. So
TikTok wants to know, have you always painted with both hands?
So have I always painted with both hands? Yes, I would say ever since I've been painting, I've been using both of my hands. Let's see, but mostly when I started performing live on stage, I use both hands because I do my paintings in 6 to 7 minutes, which helps it get done quicker. Coming close for this, what I'm doing is I want these to feel like they're in the background. So I'm just gonna mist a lighter color over them so it creates some depth on this canvas. You'll still be able to see the figures, but by adding this mist, now if you're painting, you could also do this with several different techniques. I'm just doing this with a mist on the canvas. You know what I'm gonna add, before we do that, let me add some definition on these faces so it feels like there's a light falling on them.
Instagram said, I'm in a creative funk due to overwork. Any ideas to revive my thirst to paint?
Oh yes, that's a great question. Actually, I'm gonna skip that idea. So someone said that they're in a creative funk, and how do you just come out of it? I'm a true believer in finding inspiration in what you're passionate about outside of your creativity. So outside of your art form, if you're a painter, outside of actually the act of painting, what do you find enjoyment in? And that's where you're gonna find inspiration for your next creative idea. For me, it's pop culture, it's music, it's world events, which is why I have no shortage of inspiration at this time. So I just challenge you, go look in the world around you, think about what you love to do outside of your art or creativity, and I hope that would lead you to, sparking those creative ideas. Great question, though. Someone asked, am I a Gemini? No, I'm not a Gemini. I'm a Sagittarius. There we go. There's the music. This is fade out. All right. I'm going to move quick on today's video.
Megan wants to know, did you come to Quad City Storm?
Did I come to Quad City Storm? I'm not even really sure if I know what that is, but it sounds really cool. I did not, but can you let us know what is a Quad City Storm game? All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. We're going live a little early. One, because I really prefer this time, but two, I'm a family man. I've got kids. We've got plans this weekend, and I'm trying to do my best to find a balance in fitting this in and making sure my family gets as much or more energy than I put into my creativity. But either way, I appreciate you all joining us. When I say us, because we've got Chadi on the camera, we've got a new team member, Ray, with us, helping with this camera stuff as well. Okay, well, yeah, well, those are great subjects. You'll have to stay tuned to see what this is gonna be. He's very persistent. All right. Someone just asked, do I sell my paintings? Yes. You can see the paintings and see what's available if you visit garibaldiarts.com/gallery. So someone asked, do I draw Marvel characters? I have in the past. If you go to my website, garibaldiarts.com/gallery, you'll see, you can type in the search Marvel or superhero, and you'll see a lot of the different characters that I've created over time. But thank you for the questions. Keep the questions coming. I've got some time before this is completely done. It is coming to life right now, but I would love to answer your questions the best I can while I'm creating.
TikTok wants to know, does music help you focus?
So TikTok wants to know, does music help me focus? It does. So I notice when it's, when it's there, when it's not.
The Storm Quad City game is a hockey team in the Quad City. Maybe with another painter.
Got it. Yeah, I don't think it was me, but it's good to know what a Quad City game is now. I'm learning.
Graham wants to know, how old are you?
So Instagram is asking, how old am I? I'm 37 years old. Just hopefully getting wiser with my age.
Can you please let George on Instagram know that maybe one day you'll draw Christian Bale?
Yes, so George is asking on Instagram, is that it? George,
Lionel Messi.
I know you want Lionel Messi or Christian Bale. I promise one day we'll do one of those. I have done Batman and Lionel Messi in the past. We'll get to it in the future again.
How do you get the imagination in your head to paint? TikTok.
So how do I get the imagination in my head to paint? I don't think that I'm special when it comes to that. I think that a lot of artists and creators constantly have, imaginative ideas. I just spent the time to learn tools like painting and drawing to bring those ideas to life. I just, I've spent a lot of time figuring out how to do this and how to bring them to life. But I feel like I was born creative, something I've just always pursued throughout my life. Yes.
On the lower bottom right. I pressed it and it's
Oh,
not going.
on the side. So you press the button on the side.
Got it.
Yeah, did it work? All right. Keep this going.
Wow, you look young for your age.
Thank you. I don't know if that means that I'm old or if I actually do look young. So.
What's your favorite thing to paint? And how long does it take to make a painting?
Yeah, it's a great question. So what's my favorite thing to paint and how long does it take to finish painting? My favorite thing to paint are things like this that are figures that are in motion. Usually it could take anywhere, something's a large scale portrait from 6 minutes up into I think we're gonna spend maybe 40 minutes to maybe an hour on this, not sure. I'm just kind of making it up as I go, so we'll see.
Where are you from?
So someone asked, where am I from? I am from Sacramento, California. Actually, you know what, do this. I'm gonna go check something real quick on the music. You can just show them this painting. We'll go to this. Oh, you know what? We're in the wrong.
Oh, that's why.
And there's music that comes with that. There we go. We got it all fixed. All right, we are back. We just wanted to fix the live stream.
Will you ever paint a BTS number?
So someone asked, would I ever paint a BTS number? That's a very specific request. Yes, I'm sure once I get to the point where we have more time, we can create some more specific things like that. That would be very cool. All right, let's move on to some more colors. So how do I know what colors to mix? I really don't, to be honest. I'm not really going off of what colors. I'm thinking more about how light and shadow breaks. So that's really what I'm focusing on right now. So I started painting when I was 20 years old. I started painting at this place called the Fox and Goose in Sacramento, California. I just, I had just lost my job, and my car was repossessed, and I thought, the only thing that really can't be taken from me at this time was my creativity, and so I really started pressing into it, teaching myself how to paint as well, which I had never painted before, so you could imagine that was a challenge. But thank goodness for my parents. My parents are always encouraging to me, and I feel like they always help me become a little fearless approaching ideas or projects. And even though I know that everything that I've tried to approach in life has been difficult or a challenge, my parents, being entrepreneurs and just pursuing their own dreams, I've always been inspired by that and understand that there's a process to it. There's a process to pursuing any idea that you have. I'm gonna add some texture. So right now, again, I'm just adding a base layer. We are gonna build upon this once this dries a little bit more. So I choose what I'm painting really based on world events. I think about what's happening in the world around us and how can I feel that into an image. And it's not really, keep in mind, it's not about choosing the right thing all the time. Choose what you're inspired by. Create what you're inspired by. That's why I'm always, I'm never running out of ideas. So what's my best advice to stay creative and motivated? Don't think that everything has to be a masterpiece. Not everything has to be perfect. If that was the case, I would have stopped right now. I would have, stopped this live and moved on. But I trust the process, and I want you to just put pen to paper, put paint to canvas, regardless of the progress of the image, and just create. If you start thinking about it having to be perfect, I promise you'll never be happy with what you're doing. So it's more important to just create than to try to make everything perfect. And that will probably help you with your creative process. All right, I'm just blocking this all in right now. My favorite painting I've ever painted. Oh, there's so many. My most recent favorite painting is the We Will Grow image that we just came out with a print for today. That's been my favorite for sure. It's just timely, it's powerful, and also I feel like it's bigger than me. So once a lot of this paint dries, we can go back on top and add a lot of detail. But for now, we're just establishing and blocking in the image. So someone said, who am I painting? Or should the question be, what am I painting? My inspiration when it comes to people in my life, it's my family. My girlfriend inspires me. My kids. And then from there, I really think about, dreams and goals that I have that I want to pursue and who I can help along the way. And those become filters for what inspires me on a day-to-day basis. Who's my favorite painter? I love Leroy Neiman. I love Andy Warhol. I love Al Hirschfeld. You gotta look that one up. So why do I like painting standing up versus sitting down? Is because the painting looks completely different in feel and look if I'm sitting. It doesn't feel as alive. It doesn't feel like there's movement, and I want it to feel alive, so I figured if I'm moving, if I'm using the energy God gave me, hopefully that can translate into the image on the canvas. All right, where's that dark? There it is. I repositioned my paints today, so I was just looking for something. By the way, those of you that have been asking, they're like, why don't you get something for your paints, like a shelf? I'm having something designed right now as we speak. I can't wait to unveil that to you on a live, maybe sometime next week. When am I painting myself, or have I? So have I done a self-portrait? I think I've done a self-portrait once or twice, but I probably won't do it to entertain you guys. I don't think you want to see that as a form of entertainment. Maybe in the future.
What do you think about high realist paintings?
So what do I think about high realist paintings? I think they're amazing. I think it takes an incredible amount of skill to do a hyper-realistic image of someone or something. And if you can find a market to sell it to, that's even better. Can I speak Spanish? Not fluently. I'm working on it. We're working on. I get asked that a lot though. It sounds like. Oh, George is very persistent. All right, we're gonna add some detail. So what do I call my style of painting? I would call it, normally I would call it performance painting. So if I'm performing on a stage in front of an audience, I would call it performance painting. Now, this moment, taking my time, I would just call it live painting. Have I ever drawn a battling scene? I don't think so. I think you got me stumped there. Well, there's many different reasons why I decided to paint. I think the most important was I felt like it was a life calling for me to create at the time when I started. And so if you imagine all these prompts that you get throughout your life about, I'm thinking about joining this group, or I'm thinking about pursuing this thing, whatever it is. I got that voice when I was 20 years old to start painting. I just listened to it and I went for it, and I never looked back after that. So, all right, we're gonna leave that right there. We're gonna start adding some stuff around this, and then we'll come back and add some more details. Let's see.
Do you like getting messy?
Do I like getting messy? You look at my clothes. I look like a complete hot mess all the time, so I do enjoy it. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at this, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. So how do I pronounce my name? It is pronounced Garibaldi. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it, but Garibaldi also works too. So why did I decide to paint big instead of normal canvases? I think the main reason why I create the way I create in general, whether it's standing up, whether it's moving faster, whether it's large canvases, is I just enjoy it. And I don't think there's any science behind that or any bigger purpose. I think it's just something that I love and I enjoy, regardless if it seems weird or different. That's very sweet. Luckily, we have an air conditioner in the studio, so we have that going for us. But I actually feel weird if I don't have a jacket on while I'm painting. All right, I'm gonna leave that right there.
Has anyone else in your family pursued this career, or are you the first?
So has anyone else in my family pursued this career, or am I the first? I would say I'm the only artist, painter like this, but my mom is creative. She is a hairdresser, hairstylist. My brother played music growing up. That's a great question. So has painting helped me during quarantine? To be honest with you, if I wasn't painting, I feel like I would have, maybe taken a long break from it. I think this has been one of the biggest saving graces for me to be able to paint. And this is me showing you this right now, painting, but there's a lot of times where I just paint and create on my own just because it is therapeutic for me, especially during a time like this. So I was 20 years old when I first started painting. And again, I have been an artist my whole life, but I started pursuing it professionally when I was 20 years old.
How many paintings have you painted?
How many paintings have I painted? All right, I love to do this. I love to throw my math questions to the audience. If I do, let's just say 300 paintings on average a year, and I've been doing this for, let's just round it off to 15 years at that pace. Can someone do the math and find out how many paintings that is? Yeah, Ray. Ray, you wanna do the math? All right, that looks good. So this is coming to life. I appreciate you guys tuning in today in celebration of Juneteenth, celebration of just progress in our world. That is the inspiration behind today's painting. We're gonna give some dimension to these letters, just using a brush, turn it aside. Have I ever done what?
Have you ever considered using smock?
Smock. I'm not sure if I know what that is. I'm gonna bring this can with me up here. I'm not sure if I know what that is, but it sounds. But if you could let me know in the comments, what is? So someone commented and said I've done 4,500 paintings over the past 15 years at the pace that I've been creating. Oh yeah, the blue on my head, there's blue lights right above me in my studio. TikTok wants to know who's reading my comments. My beautiful, amazing girlfriend. She's sacrificing time from her day to read. You know, actually, let's talk about that right now. I want to talk about being resourceful and being creative to present your art. So right now, we're live streaming on, I think, 6 different platforms at once. And we use several tools to do that. I won't go into details. You can go on YouTube and learn how to simulcast, but I also have 2 people here that are helping me shoot this. We used to start with just one. We just had Chadi. We just brought on Ray because I want to give you more. I want to be able to do more for you. We need a team to do that. But you know, when it comes to taking a step, I want to step away from this. You can come closer. When it comes to taking a leap or a step to level up, you've got to just start educating yourself with the tools and the information around you. Beginning of quarantine, I went on YouTube almost every day and just put in live stream. How to do it, what tools to use, and if we were doing that, how could we have someone helping read the comments and so on. I just educated myself on presenting this better. And so no matter what you do, I feel like these tools are available for all of us. And I would love to see more of you going live, sharing your story, sharing your art, or whatever it is that you want to present to the world, and using these affordable tools that are available for us. But be resourceful and be creative in the process.
Are you live on Twitter and other apps?
Yeah, so someone asked, am I live on Twitter and other apps? We're actually live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Those all have the better quality live stream. And then we're also just on devices, TikTok and Instagram.
And what's your handle on all those?
So you can find me, Garibaldi Arts, on all of those platforms. Just look for Garibaldi Arts everywhere, Garibaldi Arts, and you'll find my live streams. There's also a link in my bio that says live stream.
Everyone's confirming 4,500 paintings is a lot.
All right, so 4,500. It's probably more than that because I do quite a bit of extra projects, but somewhere around that number, I'm happy with that. All right. What's that? Hi, baby. Do I ever run out of supplies? I constantly run out of supplies. Speaking of, my paint is getting stuck. See, right now, I'm currently running out of spray paint tips. There we go. All right. So what do I do the handprint at the end? There's an artist, Denny Dent, that started this style of performance painting, and the way he ended every painting was with his handprint. So originally, I just did it as an ode to him, as a way to express gratitude. But also, it's become a thing where the audience knows that it's complete, that I'm done. It's almost like someone in theater going, and scene. So just become, inspired by Denny Dent, and it's just now become so much more than that. So where do I find such big canvases? The canvases I actually buy on a roll. Like this one's from Hobby Lobby. I just bought it on a roll. Or you can Google a large canvas on a roll, and you'll have a lot of different options that come up. And then what was the other question? Oh, am I Italian? I'm pretty sure. I'm mixed with a lot of things. So I'm part Mexican, I'm part black, part Italian. I'm pretty much mixed with everything but Asian.
How do you store your oil paint? Do you sell them anywhere
So how do I store my paintings? No, we just offer them through my website. I don't show in galleries. It's not a thing I'm into or been into. So we keep it direct sales to our collectors. All right, I'm just gonna define these parts. Let's see. So what's my favorite color? Black. Black is my favorite color. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Very much appreciate it. Let's see, I need to add some stuff up there. But what brush am I gonna use?
Where can people buy supplies from you?
Yeah, so someone asked, where can people buy supplies from me? There's a link in my bio. It says Amazon Art Supplies. If you go there, I've made a list of everything that I use in the studio, including brushes like this. So again, there's a link in my bio. It's called Amazon Art Supplies, and you'll either see studio supplies or paint night at home, and you'll see that. All right, let's keep going. Bless you. Did the live stream just like shake? All right.
Is it easier to paint on white or black background?
Oh, it's much easier to paint on black canvases, but I think I'm out of black canvas. I'm waiting on an order. So you guys are getting, at first I was doing white canvas because it was fun and new, and now I just actually have to because I'm waiting on canvas right now. But
Shoulder workout right now.
I know, look at that angles, guys. I also feel like this is challenging me in such a new way to create like this, to create with the white canvas. What do you guys think? Are you guys enjoying the white canvas look of the paintings? Do you want me to go back to black canvas?
Say what's up, Ricky, because I never do.
So Ricky, shout out to Ricky. Which Ricky is that? Oh, Ricky, that Ricky. Ricky Yee, yes. Shout out to Ricky. Ricky Yee. All right, I'm gonna add some. All right, so Molly asked, what is my favorite painting I've ever painted? And it is my most recent painting called We Will Grow. It's the most recent post on all my social platforms. You can go check that out. It's called We Will Grow. And thank you, Molly, for asking many times.
Basil on Instagram say the thing you and Jack know because you're one talented man.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the love.
TikTok Anna says, do you sweat while you paint?
Oh, do I sweat while I paint? I'm like profusely sweating while I paint. It's just, it's a workout. It's also, think about when you work out and you get those endorphins going and you feel more alive. That's how I feel when I paint. And that's also probably why I love to move while I'm painting.
What's your least favorite?
Oh, now there we go. That's a great question. What is my least favorite painting? Oh, I'm not gonna say this is my least favorite. I'm just gonna say that I struggled with it for a while. For many, many years, I didn't paint Marilyn Monroe. And it was mostly because she has a very soft face. It's very smooth, and my canvas and my style is not. So it's just one image that I try to stay away from. But now I've spent time and I can do it more now. So anyone who has like this perfect looking face, it's not as fun. I could do it, just not something that's fun for me. All right, let's leave that where it is.
Do you make people their own painting?
So, do I make people their own paintings? Someone just asked. I'm assuming they're asking about commissions. Yes, I do a lot of commissions for different clients. And matter of fact, we've been able to do quite a bit during quarantine because I'm not traveling. And people try to get them in the past while I was traveling, and we just weren't able to accommodate it. So yes, I do a lot of commissions, and you can visit garibaldiarts.com/gallery to get info about that. So who inspires me to do art? You know, there's no one that I need to get me to do it because I'm pretty self-motivated, but there's just many people in my life that inspire me. And I would say there's just been many artists throughout my life that have inspired me. I used to watch a lot of Disney films growing up. What else? Comic books.
Queen tracks your Instagram goals, so then you can never paint your rose because she's so long.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point. She is so perfect that I'm terrified because I don't want to mess it up. She knows this. I tell her this all the time. I'm like, baby, you're so beautiful. I'm terrified to paint you. Okay, so she said I did a card for her when we first started dating. And it was one of her profile pictures. I guess you'll have to ask her if she enjoyed it or not. Yeah. I mean, I could draw, and I know how to draw. It's just, when you add this, like thousands of people watching you at one time, there's just certain paintings that are just not as fun to do. But I'm sure one day I will do her painting gladly. All right.
Jenny from the Burbs.
Jenny from the Burbs.
Yeah, 916.
Yeah, and 916.
I imagine Marilyn and Audrey Hepburn would be difficult.
Yes, they were difficult in the past, but now, because I've practiced, I'm struggling right here. Now, I love doing their portraits because I figured it out. It just took me many, many years. And I think to go back to what I was sharing earlier about people being afraid of this process and, you know, giving up early on, it took me 10 years to get down the Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn portraits. And I kept trying until I got to a place where I was comfortable, and just took a lot of practice. So this takes years. It takes sometimes decades. Yeah, Chadi just said it takes years to become an overnight success, and that is the absolute truth. So my favorite art supply to use, paint, for sure. I use latex house paint here in the studio. And aside from that, you know, usually synthetic brushes, which are in my Amazon link in my bio. You can use the same brushes that I use here in the studio. So how do I get paint and spray paint out of my hands? I don't. It stays in there for quite a while. Have I ever tried digital art? Yes, I use Procreate on my iPad all the time. I love doing those. So whatever paint Gavin Newsom's portrait when it's time. Of course, I've done stuff for presidents and governors and politicians. So, you know, it's all about timing. I'm sure when the opportunity comes, it will.
How old are your kids?
So my kids are 7 and 9. So do I have a studio I paint in? Yes. I am based in Sacramento, California. We're in the Broadway district area. We'll actually open up at some point. We'll allow people to come here and watch these live in the future. 6 feet apart, yeah. Would you guys want to come see these live? Would you want to join us here in the studio and watch this happen? If so, give me a thumbs up in the comments. What is my favorite flower? I would have to say, man, there's so many beautiful ones. I love orchids. I feel like orchids is a paint can spilling over into the world. It's a very artistic answer for you. Do I ever draw cars? I don't think I have. I'm just switching up my paint cans real quick. Let me check the time. I've got to pick up my son at some point. So we're gonna move this along. Let's see. So I want these. Have I ever done what?
Have you ever had to paint a house or room? So how do you feel about it?
Oh, have I ever? I mean,
Paint the inside.
yeah. I mean, I think I just paint my own home and my personal stuff, but I've never. No, I don't. I hate painting walls. So we were here painting walls in the studio because we just needed to get it done. And Chadi was just so funny. She was having more fun than all of us. So that's who enjoys doing painting. So what do my kids think about my art? I don't know. You'll have to ask them. Mia, what do you think about my art? She gave me a thumbs up. I don't know what that means. If that's good or bad. She's just like, yeah, it's cool. It's all right. Yeah, exactly. I have a to-do list from my kids about what I should be painting for them. My son wants a Steph Curry. My daughter, Mia, what did you want me to paint for you? My daughter wants LeBron James for some reason. And, or probably anything Descendants related. Disney related, Mal from Descendants. Do my kids what? Do my kids understand my fame? I think I would say no. Let's not let them know that. All right, let's add some detail to the eyes real quick because I want to start bringing the face to life. I want to start with the eyes and then we'll move outward from there. And real quick, let me just establish, when we first started this, we just put down a base level. Everything's very, very loose. It's not perfect. But once we continue and that paint dries, we can add on top of that more details to bring it to life.
Can your girlfriend draw?
Can my girlfriend draw? She actually can. Yes. Our first date, I took her to Color Me Mine, which may seem a little unfair, but she made the best little snail like mug for me, and she drew it out. I loved it. I still use it. You can come in close for this. I'm just adding some details to the eye so that, again, as fast as I move, as much as I enjoy moving fast, I still want these paintings to be able to stand alone on their own. So I'm just adding some details to these eyes. Stay right there. So are my kids interested in art? I think all kids are naturally creative, but my kids definitely are very creative. My daughter is probably on the more creative side. She's more imaginative. She does musical theater. But again, I feel like all kids are creative. Check this out. Just adding some details, adding some curls. I feel like she needs some definition on her curls. So what's my favorite thing to do besides painting? Eating. I love to eat. I love running. I don't do it as often as I would like. I'm pretty social. You would say I like to connect with my friends. What else? Let's see. What do I think about my own art? I think it needs work. That's why I'm so critical of my work that I try to create stuff that I would hang in my own home, but also I realize that I could still practice a lot more. My favorite kind of food. We love sushi. I love Mikuni's here in Sacramento. I love Crew. What else do I love? Oh, I love burgers. Any other burger lovers out there? Let me know. All right, let's add some. Where's this color that I had? I want to add some like vibrancy to her.
How has the pandemic been affecting?
So someone asked, how has the pandemic affected me? It's affected me and my family in every way you could imagine. You know, I went from doing live shows around the world to doing 0 shows around the world. And so one part is it's affected us in a great way because I'm home. So let me first start with that because that's been one of the best parts about this is being able to be home with my family. And also another positive is challenge me in so many great ways. I mean, like we've been releasing prints and art throughout this whole pandemic and just learning new ways to do that. But I definitely, you know, I miss performing because I had spent my whole life training for that. But I was just watching, I was listening to a podcast. It was the Ed Milet podcast, and he had The Undertaker on there. And The Undertaker was sharing his story about you know, him making a comeback. He's got this new docuseries and just his perspective about like, look, you can stay down on the ground. You can get knocked down. My knockdown was, you know, the world shutting down and not being able to do live shows anymore. Or, you know, can you redirect that energy into doing anything or something else? He did his and made a comeback. Right now, I just learned a way to redirect that same energy into more productive things like creating on these lives, releasing products, working on new paintings or new ways to run my business. So I've always tried to be productive with everything, and I think that's been the biggest effect on myself and my family, is just learning how to do everything better. Real quick, as I'm finishing this up, can you guys let me know below in the comments who has collected the We Will Grow print so far? It's only available until tomorrow morning and then that's it. But can you let me know in the comments, did you get one of the prints? Are you waiting to get it? And also if you spend over $80, it'll unlock free shipping for you as well. Do I like black and white or full color? I love color. Love, love, love color. My favorite sport, I naturally love basketball. I love the pace of it. And yeah, but I think I love color more than I love basketball. All right, let's add more. I feel like it needs a pop of white. Let me dry these hands so that I can get these caps off. In the meantime, ooh, great question. So have I or will I ever paint The Undertaker? Of course I will. I haven't yet, but that's it, man, I gotta do The Undertaker. I think, you know, as the world changes, as my inspiration changes, I'm sure we'll get to subjects like that. It's just, I really wanna use my platform right now for things that are important to me, and that's partly social justice. How can they get prints? Yeah, so if you visit garibaldiarts.com/shop, or there's a link in my bio, you can get prints there. You'll see the one that's out today. Yeah, so the We Will Grow is available now. We only release prints for 24 hours, so when we release it and we tell you about it, that's the only time it's available. There are some other staple prints, but the special ones in these themes, you gotta go get those as they're out. They're as low as $20 as well. All right, I gotta wrap it up. Yes. All right, let's throw a little bit of paint and then we'll call this a day. Thank you all so much for joining. Oh, that was it right there. That was it. All right, my pants are falling down. I forgot to wear a belt today. All right, take one last look at this painting entitled Progress. Today's Juneteenth. Originally celebrating the end of slavery, but really more so celebrating progress. And we have a lot more progress to go as well. So take one last look, and then we'll do some shout outs before we end this. That was fun. And then we'll let her get back over here. Thank you guys so much for joining today. My daughter's over here. You guys can't see her. She's eating some popcorn. If you guys enjoyed this earlier time, let me know too. I'm gonna get back to this chat. Those of you on Facebook, those of you on Periscope, I'm gonna do some shout outs for you right now. Let's see. So Richard, I see Richard Ratliff. He said, I see Arm's face coming to life. Saw David open for Kiss in Omaha, Nebraska.
What time is it over there?
Here it's 4:39, so we're good on time right now. We're on time. Oh yeah, so it's 4:39 p.m. here on the West Coast in Sacramento. All right, let me know when we're back on here. We good? All right, we're back here. All right, so right now we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and Instagram and TikTok. I would love to do some shout outs before we wrap this up. So let's do this. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you got the We Will Grow print, or if you just want to say hello, I would love to say hello as well. Nige Gregory asked, are you coming to the UK? I was in the UK last year. I can't wait to come back. I've been quite a bit. I love it there. My last show was actually in Scotland. So that was my last show on tour. Mississippi, Houston, Philly, Miami, Kenya. Welcome, Kenya. Also, Amanda Bradford said, yes, is a perfect time. I love this time too. So maybe we'll get used to doing this live between 3 and 4 p.m. I like this. Actually, 3:30 and 4:30 p.m. So Jolie on YouTube, San Leandro, Yay area, welcome. Anne in Norway.
Can you give Leanie Likes to Draw a shout out on Instagram?
So
on TikTok?
Leanie Likes to Draw on TikTok. Shout out to you.
How are she?
Yeah, so Bone Collector D on Twitch asks, is it George Floyd? That's not George Floyd, but it is someone who is marching on his behalf and for him and for everyone who experiences injustice. So Mark Reyes said, love your paintings, they rock, thank you. And what'd they say?
Istanbul,
Turkey, Istanbul, welcome. Chile, Netherlands, Utah, Dallas, Texas. All right, and Steve Nervig ordered my We Will Grow prints today. Thanks from Ames, Iowa, sending love back to you. And Steve, thank you for supporting the nonprofit A New Band. You can find out more about them. There's a link actually on the page where you bought that print. So thank you for supporting them with that. Elijah, thanks for painting for us. Really needed a short break today. You know, this is a break for me as well. I enjoyed it. We're all done today. We'll be back on Monday with Art Life Live around 4 p.m.-ish. You can also follow me on Instagram where I update daily throughout my story. Just look for Garibaldi Arts on all platforms. I want to leave you with this last message: to do everything with paint. Passion, action, intent, new, and to teach. And with those principles as a foundation, you can approach any project, goal in life. I'll go more into detail into that later, but just keep that in mind: to paint. Passion, action, intent, new, and to teach. My name is David Garibaldi. This is Art Life Live.